Lisa, how you doing?
Good. So today I wanted to talk about something that came up this morning,
Okay.
and something that we recently have been talking a lot about. And that's about dieting versus creating your own personal lifetime diet plan.
Right. Dieting.
Right.
Yeah, it's really overwhelming, isn't it?
Right. I mean, I had a client recently come to me and so frustrated, she said, because she's tried everything, keto, paleo, South Beach. She's tried all these diets. She's successful for a short period of time, and then she, is no longer works for her.
So why do you think diets are difficult, Lisa?
I mean, diets don't work because they're only intended to be used for a short time. They're intended to be a tool. They're not sustainable. They're very restrictive, right? Mm-hmm. They're very, dogmatic. They're controlling. They're negative, right?
They're unhappy.
Right. And they don't work, essentially.
Well, they work for the short term.
Correct.
They work for the short term, and somebody will feel great. They will maybe lose some weight, maybe even, up to their goal. In 2-3 months, what happens?
Right. How do you sustain it? How do you maintain it? Then what do you do?
Right. Because I think it's very hard to eat in such a restrictive way. And
right.
If you go to a party, you go on a
vacation.
Yeah.
You can't bring it with you.
Right.
I think, and people ask me what kind of a diet I'm on. I'm on my own personalized diet, right? The foods I know that work for me. I try to control the foods that I don't have so much control over, whatever it might be, dark chocolate or, and so I try to create my own diet. I know it sounds like loosey-goosey, but it actually isn't, because I know the foods that make me feel good and the things that are going to start me on a spiral or whatever, and I can control it because it's my choice. It's not something or some diet or plan telling me what to do.
So you find that that's something that you can do every day because you're eating sort of what you want to, but even more than that, it's something that makes your body feel good.
Correct.
As opposed to like going to the pantry in the afternoon and getting a bag of chips, which you might need that salty, something or another. Sometimes I have that salty thing that I want. And then afterwards you feel really bad.
Right.
And so
that diet may say to you, yeah, you can have maybe a few, but in general, that doesn't make you really feel good. So let's try to not eat that food.
Right.
Let's replace it with something that makes me feel better. That can be salty, maybe olives, but also have, healthy fats in it.
Right.
And has other benefits. So those foods are inclusive. They're not restrictive. You're putting foods in that are healthy for you.
Right.
Versus taking foods out. This is about what's good for me. What the positive aspect of eating.
Absolutely. Things that taste good.
Right.
Things that make you feel good.
Right. Things
that aren't on the no-no list, although there are some things that you said that you might know that you shouldn't eat so much of.
Right.
That, but mostly you're doing it based on how you're feeling and how it makes you feel.
Correct.
And not necessarily because you're worried about, say, weight gain or other issues like I think that's something that everybody's thinking they have to count the calories because of weight
That's
gain.
huge, because ultimately it comes down to you doing what is best for you to make you healthy for your entire lifetime. Right. So just a moment of satisfaction eating a small food versus that's bad for me. And that may not be a good idea but we want to think long-term here. We're not always thinking short-term diet, weight, gotta step on the scale, what's it say? Long-term health.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then it becomes comfortable and it's not negative and it's not restrictive. It's like, no, I'm doing this to take care of me.
Right.
Not because I want the scale to say something differently.
Right. Or the world to
look at me differently.
Or your clothes are tight, or you want to fit into something that you wore when you were, 20 years younger.
Right.
But I don't think that you're saying to not be aware of that, but you're just saying to not let let that be the main driver.
No, because it's not going to work.
Right. It's not going to work.
No.
And so maybe the main driver should be, look, I don't want to have heart disease, you know, diabetes.
Right.
Obesity. And I want to be able to move. I want to be able to, you know, I was just showing you that video of that 95-year-old gymnast.
Live long and live well.
Right. Right.
So that's how you determine what types of foods you should eat.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Sounds
great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.